cribbage tourney final. And the two players are just lagging off now. We've got Gary B, who's from the States, who's playing Acero, and I'm just about to remind myself where he's from. And he's from Japan. Now this tournament, or this game, cribbage, is based on the card game, and you've got a full rack of 15 balls. There are 5 cribbages in each rack, and a cribbage consists of you sinking 1 ball and then potting the partner ball that adds up to 15 points. So for example, if you pot the 9 ball, your partner ball, companion ball is the 6 ball, and so on. The last ball that is going to be potted in each rack is the 15 ball. And the 15 ball can be the deciding ball as well. If the points are scored at 4-all, the 15 ball will be respotted, and then you pot that one to win the rack. So we've got 2 very good players here, so I would expect a fairly high standard. And so Acero has potted the 8 ball, and his partner ball is a 7 ball. Now, when you're playing cribbage, the most important thing about it is you really do have to plot your way around the table, more importantly than quite a few games, because sometimes your partner ball's locked up, so you've got to make good decisions for position and for breaking balls open as well. But it can be a fairly tactical game as well, which you may well see. If, for example, you can't get to your partner ball, then you can actually lock balls up in the middle of the table at the head spot, or the head of the rack anyway, where they'll line up, and it's a tactical way of playing safe. That'll explain itself better as the game goes on, if we get to that stage. Just give me 1 second. Right, we should be back up and running. Just had to do a little fix there. Right, so if you look at the top left hand corner of the screen next to the players' names, you will see the partner ball for the player when he's at the table. So Acero is studying the table, looking for a possible combination here. So that ball that he's looking at, I think, is the 13, but the 2's locked up, so that's no good to him. And of course he's looking at the 1 ball, the 14 balls in the middle of the table next to that pink 4 ball, so he's going to leave the 14 ball long. And you see in the top left next to his name, that is the partner ball showing on the screen. This is a very good tactical game, but it does test your skills in position quite a lot more than, for example, 9 ball does. You've got a lot more balls on the table, of course, and you've got a specific target to get to. So Acero is leading by 3 cribbages to 0. Now he's going to pot the 11 ball, and that will be 4 cribbages. And now he's got a bit of a problem to deal with. He's going to try and chip in this 2 ball. He might even try and reverse bank it. I don't know whether he can make the potting angle. Yeah, he could. So his problem now is that the partner ball is over in the right hand corner here. I think is he trying to actually play a combo onto it? What's he thinking here? Well, you see the first ball that he potted has been respotted. That was probably not the best of shots to have played. He should have tried to keep that tight. And so what he's effectively done is he's opened up the table for Gary B, and given him a chance to try and run out here. Now let's have a look at that ball up by the jaw there. Now that's very tight, that 12 ball, but it does go if you can drop in behind it. Now we're in a position here where Gary B, if he manages to get the 4 cribbages, we will probably end up with a decider. So that's him off and running. He's got 1, and he's looking for an opportunity to get this awkward ball on the right hand side of the table. He's looked at the potting angle of it. It's very tight from where he is, and he's really got to just drop this in dead weight to try and hold for the 3 ball, which is on the left side of the screen there. He might even go across. Well, he's managed to get it in. And now he might just try and, I don't know whether he can try and come behind this 13 ball. It looks as if he's checking it up. He's actually checking it off the bottom rail here to bring it back away from the 13 ball to avoid hitting it, I think. No, oh yes he has. I thought he was going to go behind it there, but he did check it up. So here's the crucial positional shot. He's now got 2 cribbages. Looks easy enough to get on the 2 ball, just all about weight. Now how's the angle he's got? Pretty good. He can easily drop behind a 15. So the one thing he's got to remember, he pots this 2 ball, he's got 3 cribbages. He's got to not only pot the 15 ball, but get the angle on the cue ball to get up the table, which he has done. So he'll be looking to get either in this area here or this area here to play that 15 ball. Because the 15 ball gets spotted on the head of the triangle. And he's perfect. That'll do it. So that's what happens when, I mean, Acero, if he'd used a little bit of tactics here and hadn't opened up the table, he probably could have won this rack. But he opened up the table, and for a player of Gary B's standard, he's going to run out. So Gary B wins the first rack. If you don't have a shot on your companion ball, then you've got to stop and think. And Acero made the mistake of trying to create something out of nothing, and all it was an open invitation for Gary B just to take his chance, which he did. Now these balls are spread very nicely. The only problem you have here is that some of them are blocking each other, but again, this is a test to pick your way through the obstacles. So Gary's looking at the 14 ball, then the 1 companion ball into the left middle. I'm looking to see where his next one will be, his next cribbage. Well, that pink ball there, the pink stripe, that's the 12 ball. So there's the partner ball for it there as well. So he's got another cribbage easily. And he's still okay. Maybe a bit risky to start nudging into balls, but he's got the 7, and he's also got the 8 companion ball down in the bottom half of the table here as we look. If he's careful here, he can run out. So there's a cribbage, and there's the companion ball, and there's the mistake. He took the 7, he's left himself a difficult cut in the 8 here into a blind pocket. And it goes. He's still in good position. He's on the 12. He's got the 3 down the rail. Now, and he's probably wanting to get rid of that 9 ball up in the top left hand corner at some point. The 6 ball's near it as well, which is the other companion ball. So this is where he's got to be careful, because there's an awful lot of clutter of balls up in that corner. So he's made the decision here. Now this again has to be right, because he's going to pot the 9. He could try nudging into the 10, but he's going to leave another awkward one in the 6. So the 10 squeezes past the 9, so that's the companion ball for the 5 that he's just potted. And again, this 9 ball can suddenly jump double its size when you're trying to squeeze the 10 ball past it. So again, got to be careful. Can easily send this to the left hand jaw, trying to avoid the 9. And he's got it clean. So he's on 4 cribbages right now, and it's just about dropping behind the 6 ball. So a dead weight shot in the 9 here, and he can just finish to the left hand side of the 6 for the opposite pocket, unless he's trying something elaborate. Now that's dangerous. That was dangerous, and it's gone wrong. Now you can play the combo. That's the other thing about cribbage. That 15 ball can be played as a combo for the 6, and that's a good shot. So it almost went a disaster, but he was lucky he finished with the combo. So that's 2 clean runouts there for Gary B, and I think that's evidence enough of the standard that we'd expect for a player who's high rated. Now, off the break there, we've had a couple of balls go down. We've had the 4 and the 5 go down, so that means there's 2 possible cribbages on the table. And you can actually get a cribbage off the break as well if you pot 2 companion balls, like for example the 9 and the 6 ball. They would count as a cribbage for you off the break. Well, that was a good combo there. So he's off and running again, and he's still got the option of the second cribbage with that 10 ball, but the 2 balls blocking off the 10. So now what he's looking to do here is to... Is that the 10 ball or is it the 14 ball? No, that's the 10 ball there. My mistake. I thought that was the 10 ball up with the 2 ball. I didn't realise the 10 was in the open. And now an open table up with the 3 ball. That's his next companion ball, that one there. Nudge onto the 7 would do nice. Now that's knocked to 7 safe. So there wouldn't be any point in potting the 8 ball at this stage. He needs to open up that pocket in the top left there. So he's took the chance in trying to manoeuvre things around. Now how's his luck? Because that... let's go down this end and have a look. So he's got 2 cribbages at the moment and he's looking for a third. And he's going to have to just squeeze a little on this to try and get that cue ball up the table a wee bit. He's put a bit of spin on it, so he's got the 1 ball and now the 14. And that will give him cribbage number 4. And the 9 and the 6 looks like the favourites here for the final cribbage. 9 and 6 both out in the open. And straightforward enough, so Gary B's had 3 opportunities. And it looks very, very likely that it's going to be 3 racks to 0. Now let's see if anything goes in the break this time. Nothing's gone, but we've got the 13 ball and sorry, the 12 ball and the 10 ball right over that middle pocket. Ah, so this must be alternate break. Yeah. Which is actually quite fair because, you know, if you break off and you pot a couple of balls, you can easily run out and win the rack. So alternate break gives the other player an opportunity to break and run as well. So, but once again, nothing happened here for Acero. So Gary B's at the table. He's studied the table. You've got to take your time. He's looked at picking off a couple of cribbages to get him up and running. So there's 1. And the 2 into the left hand corner. If he just stops the cue ball, he's got the 13, which is the orange stripe just to the right there of the 6. Now you can pot that, you could pot the 6, bring the cue ball up the table. He's got the 7 and the 8, so it's looking very good here. Now how's that angle? Well, he can't dig into the cue ball, he can only see the top third of the cue ball, so he's just going to come off the bottom rail and back up the table. He's tried to check it to hold for the 6. And now he can spin off. He can go that way and come out behind the 9 and leave the 9 into the same pocket. So that's another one. And then the last cribbage could possibly be the 11 and the 4. If we look at the 11 there, there's the 4, the companion ball into that pocket, so it's all too easy. Finish right on the arrow. Now he's going the other way. He's going to take the 3 and the 12, which is hanging over the right middle, so he's got choices. And you're probably going to nudge the 4. Well, that's still okay, because when he pots this 12, you can nudge into the 10. And that was it. In fact, he didn't need it and forgot. He's on 5, so that's Gary B. 4 racks to 0 up. It's just a race to 5, this final. And certainly a couple of balls have dropped. And that's Gary B on his break. So Acero might have actually played his last shot in this final. I think he's only had 2 shots. And one of them was a break off. That's how tough it is when you're playing high class opposition. Especially in a game like this where your skills are tested. Your ability to manoeuvre the cue ball. That's all the factors that help you in being successful. Well, successful in any game, but in particular with this game. There's not a lot of players play cribbage. So there's the first cribbage. The 8 ball went down off the break. He just potted a 7 as the companion ball. And he's got the other of the 2 balls that went down in the break. He's got the 10 ball to pot now, and that'll be his second cribbage. But all the while he's studying the table and looking at the next ball. You can't just pot a ball because it's there for potting. You've really got to focus on the next shot. And this is why it's a big step up from playing 9 ball to moving up to a game like this, which requires a lot more accuracy in your gameplay. Now let's have a look at this one. That's a 12. Now if he takes that 12, he can certainly drop in behind the 3. I think he's just looking to see if he can avoid it. If he pots that 12 into that pocket, the cue ball can go that way, and he can take the 3 into the same pocket. He's looking at the 13 and the 2. The 2 is open in the top left hand corner. The cue ball's going to be running a bit here, so he's got to judge this. And that looks okay. He's held the pace. And then goes the 2, so he's now on 3 cribbages. And of course now he can take this 12 and hold for the 3 ball. And that's running nice. So this for cribbage number 4, and then he needs 1 more. And looking at it, it's odds on it's going to be the 11 and the 4 ball, and the 2 of them are sitting right in the middle of the table there. And he's perfect. Well, he's slightly the wrong side of the 4, but there shouldn't be any problem. So Acero, I'm afraid, has come up against a brick wall, and Gary B runs out and wins the tournament and the final by 5 racks to 0. And that concludes our short live stream, just to let you guys see what cribbage looks like and what the game is in Virtual Pool 4, and we hope to see you again sometime.